Good morning, I'm Maddie Jansen, and this is the podcast of 17 News at Sunrise. It's everything you need to know to start your day in about 15 minutes.
Working in the spirit of the Golden Empire, this is 17 News at Sunrise.
Good morning. A terrifying scene. A plane nosedives into the ocean, and the people on board are saved when a passing aircraft spots heads bobbing in the water. The daring escape coming up.
A man long suspected by family members but never implicated by police in the disappearance of young Bakersfield woman Bailey Despot is facing new charges of threatening the life of another woman. 17's Olivia LaVoice has details.
Plus, parenting in a digital age. There's a lot to navigate, and now there are new tips and tools to help moms and dads stay on top of what their kids are doing online. This is Wednesday, August 21st, 2019. I'm Maddie Jansen alongside Alex Fisher.
Yeah, we're gearing up for a warm-up, unfortunately, but nothing like what we saw last week, which I guess that is the silver lining. Kevin's in this morning with a look at your forecast. Good morning, Kev. Welcome back.
Good morning. I said I'd be back yesterday, but I got stuck in the tar pits, and it took me a little while to get out. So I'm back today, though. As we take a look at yesterday, look at our high, 93 degrees. Nice and comfortable for everybody. The record, 112, set back in 1950. Currently, 69 degrees. We've got a light northwest wind at 3 miles per hour. Here's a look at the dog walk forecast, and I'm featuring actually Tabitha's dog Zoe this morning, goofing around on the floor there. And good morning to take that walk. And then this afternoon after 2 o'clock, best to stay indoors. We'll be back into the 90s. Again, I want to feature your pet. Kevin Charette at kget.com is the email address. Send me your pet, and we'll feature him on our dog walk forecast. But today, it's Zoe. Tehachapi, you're currently at 57 degrees. Nice temperature there. West wind at 6. And as we take a look at the numbers for today, we will climb into the upper 60s by 9 and 80s expected this afternoon. I'll have much more to forecast in just a bit, but first, let's see how the morning commute's going. We're going to send that over to Alex.
All right, thanks so much, Kevin. And taking a look outside to the 99 near White Lane, and it's looking pretty clear on that side of town. There is one car fire being reported on the westbound lanes of the 58 near Bealville Road. So be mindful of that if you are headed that way. But everything else around the county looking pretty good to start off your Wednesday morning. We'll have another check coming up in about 15 minutes.
New this morning, a man already serving a life sentence is found guilty again, this time for killing his cellmate. Back in February of 2016, guards at the prison in Tehachapi found Thomas Santiago strangling 46-year-old Miguel Alejo in their cell. The guards tried to stop Santiago, but it was too late. Alejo died. Santiago was already serving a life sentence for attempted murder and was set to be eligible for parole in 2023. Alejo was in prison on a robbery conviction. Yesterday, a jury convicted Santiago of second-degree murder. He's set to be sentenced in September and faces life in prison without parole.
Civil rights leader Dolores Huerta is speaking out about her arrest during a protest in Fresno. Huerta is one of 8 people who was arrested at the Fresno Board of Supervisors meeting yesterday. Huerta says she and about 100 protesters were there to support caregivers with the in-home supportive services program who hadn't had a raise in 10 years.
This was kind of pre-planned that the workers were going to get arrested, and it wasn't part of the plan for me to get arrested. But what happened is that one of the sheriff's deputies went and he grabbed Arnulfo by the neck and was actually pushing him back, almost choking him. And that really made me so angry because Arnulfo was standing there. He had his hands at his side. You know, he wasn't doing anything physical, not even to resist any kind of arrest.
The Fresno County Sheriff's Department says deputies cited 6 people for failing to disperse after being asked to do so. Huerta and another protester are accused of obstructing the doorway of a public business and resisting arrest. Both are misdemeanors.
A daring escape caught on camera. 2 people managed to get away unscathed when their small plane crashed into the ocean near Half Moon Bay in Northern California. This is video of the plane after it lost power and crashed into the water. The pilot shot the video as he and his passenger waited for help to arrive. Another plane happened to be in the area at the time. That pilot circled the crash and reported seeing a man and woman bobbing in the water. A Coast Guard helicopter arrived less than 15 minutes later and plucked the pair from the water. The NTSB and FAA are now investigating what caused the plane to go down.
More legal trouble for the boyfriend of missing woman Bailey Despot. The charges are not related to the disappearances of Despot or Micah Holsenbake. It's also important to note Matthew Queen has never been named a suspect in either case. But these new charges are serious and paint him in a violent light. 17's Olivia Lavoie has more.
It was January 2018 when Matthew Queen allegedly forced a woman into an orchard at gunpoint, according to court documents. Documents say she pleaded for her life on her hands and knees as Queen reportedly pointed a rifle at her head, asking how she'd feel about her child growing up without a mother. Documents also say the victim told investigators she believed Queen was going to kill her, and this wasn't the first time he'd threatened her life. She said she'd once smirked at him, and he allegedly told her if she smirked at him again, he'd end her life. And in a third incident, she told police she was at Queen's Rosedale home on March 21, 2018, speaking with Queen's girlfriend, who we know at the time was Bailey Despot. The young woman says while speaking with his girlfriend, a.k.a. Despot, Queen pulled a handgun out of a desk, simulated loading the gun, pointed it at her, and told her to get the bleep out of his house. To put the timeline of events in perspective, both Bailey Despot and Michael Holsenbake, who Queen also knew, had not yet gone missing. Holsenbake went missing March 23, 2018. One of his arms was found inside a duffel bag in the Kern River 1 year ago today. The rest of his body has still not been recovered. Bailey Despot disappeared April 25, 2018. Her family has continuously said if Bailey is no longer with us, they desperately need to find her body to have any sense of closure. Olivia Lavoie, 17 News.
And last month, Queen was charged with kidnapping in an unrelated incident from January. He also faces another case involving the possession of firearms. Queen is due in court later this week on those new charges.
We're learning more about efforts to seize guns belonging to local cannabis activist David Abbasi. Lawyers representing KCSO and BPD argue Abbasi's behavior in recent months is raising red flags about his emotional state. They point to an outburst at a Board of Supervisors meeting last spring. So they're going after 5 guns Abbasi owns, concerned he might turn them on others. But court documents obtained by 17 News reveal 5 witnesses in the case argue Abbasi is not a threat. And Abbasi and 17's Aton Wallace shared this exchange before a court hearing last week.
The BPD and KCSO argue that you are a threat to others and yourself. So let's set the record straight right now. Are you a threat?
No. Their allegations and accusations are baseless. I have not been a threat, and I have not been a violent person in the past.
3 other witnesses signed declarations for the court stating that they do not believe Abbasi is a threat to anyone. We've posted those statements on our website, kget.com.
It is 5:08 now, and a man is behind bars this morning in connection with the death of another man. Someone discovered the man's body in the riverbed west of Chester Avenue last Wednesday. That's near Riverview Park. Yesterday, the coroner announced the man was the victim of a homicide and died of blunt force trauma to his head. His identity has not been released. Last night, BPD announced officers arrested 33-year-old Antonio Maldonado in connection with the death. He's being held without bail and is due in court tomorrow afternoon.
The search for the man police say stabbed a former Cal State Fullerton faculty member continues this morning, nearly 48 hours after the deadly attack. And now police hope a sketch and video of the suspect will help them find answers and the killer. This is video of the man police say they believe stabbed 57-year-old Stephen Chan to death. It happened Monday morning in a campus parking lot. You can see the man running from the parking lot, then stop in front of a restaurant. That's where police say he wrapped up a hand that he hurt during the murder.
We know that there is blood that was left at the scene by the suspect, as well as in the video you can see that he is either covering his hand or there appears to be red on his hand. So we do believe that there was some sort of injury that he sustained.
And take a look at this sketch of the suspected killer. I believe we'll have that for you in just a moment. Police say given evidence they've collected, they think the attack was targeted.
Heads up, Bakersfield College students, the campus is closed today for a professional development day. Community members also won't be able to access campus today. Everything will be back open tomorrow for the start of the fall semester. It is 5:09 now, and Mercy Hospital Southwest is getting ready to better serve our community. The hospital is expanding thanks to 2 major donations from the David and Catherine Gay family and doctors Ravi and Naina Patel. The money will help build a 4-story tower at Mercy Southwest. It'll have 106 patient rooms, a new ICI unit, 6 extra operating rooms, and an expanded emergency department, among other things. The hospital plans to formally announce the donations later this morning.
Still ahead on Sunrise, money mismanagement. The state says some county fair officials misused thousands of dollars. What some employees were doing while on the clock. We'll explain where all that money went.
Plus, mass shooting after mass shootings where more parents are equipping their kids with bulletproof backpacks. We put these products to the test to see if they're effective and worth the price. As our lives become more and more immersed in technology, some teachers in the heart of Silicon Valley are testing out new ways to get students to put down their phones. Jolene Kin explains.
Just half an hour down the road from Apple and Google headquarters in the heart of Silicon Valley, kids are trading screen time for school time.
I love not having my phone, to be honest.
I think lunchtime should be at least allowed to have your phone.
Beginning this school year, the 1,700 students at San Mateo High School must lock up their phones before heading to class.
You're here to learn, you're here to work with your teachers and students, and we started getting away from that because of these devices and how addictive they could be.
Students slide their phones into this yonder pouch and lock it up.
Last year, a lot of people just spend lunches looking at their phone, not talking with each other. But this year, it's everyone there's nothing else to do but talk.
In fact, 95% of American teenagers own a mobile device. 70% check social media several times daily.
There are exceptions for medical reasons, and every student here gets this pouch for the year. And if you want to get a sneak peek at your phone, well, there is no easy way to do that.
8 phoneless hours later, students are saved by the bell, tapping this device to unlock their pouch, reunited, reconnected, after taking time to refocus. Jolene Kent, NBC News, San Mateo, California.
Technology is a big part of learning nowadays, however, and that also means parents need to take extra steps to make sure technology doesn't rule their kids' lives. The Family Online Safety Institute aims to help families navigate the new age of digital parenting. In partnership with Verizon, they're hosting workshops across the country to show parents tips and new tools.
It's really not appropriate, we don't think, for kindergartners to show up with iPhones, which we're seeing. There's a movement called wait until eighth grade.
Experts say no matter what age, it's good to set ground rules about screen time at the beginning of the year. One good rule for parents and kids is coming up with a bedtime for devices. The blue light from electronics has been shown to mess with your natural circadian rhythm. Turning off screens an hour before bed can help the whole family get a better night's sleep.
And in this digital age, online privacy continues to be an issue.
The new control you'll have over your data on Facebook and how it works, that's ahead in your 17 Business Watch.
KGET Business Watch is brought to you by Grapevine MSP Technology Services, the Valley's leading IT service provider.
Local entrepreneurs looking to grow their business will have access to more than a dozen lending programs today. The Kern Capital Summit's happening tonight at the Tower Craft Bar and Grill on Truxton Avenue. From 4 to 8:30, you can come out to learn more about funding your small business. The event's hosted by the Small Business Development Center at CSUB. It's free, but there are limited seats, so you do need to register in advance. Head to tinyurl.com/KernCapSummit or call 654-2856. The grounding of Boeing's best-selling jet could create some jobs in Washington state. The company says it plans to hire hundreds of temporary workers to take care of its 737 MAX jets at Moses Lake. That's where many of those jetliners have been stored since they were grounded back in March. The new hires will include different types of aircraft technicians and mechanics. They'll be tasked with supporting the planes on the ground and help get them back in the air when the grounding is lifted.
I think it's not a good situation that Boeing's in, but this is a positive step.
Boeing grounded the planes after 2 crashes overseas killed more than 300 people. The crashes were blamed on software glitches, and Boeing's hoping to have a fix approved in October. Facebook is launching a new way for users to have more control over their personal data. It's called Off Facebook Activity. It lets users delete past browsing history and prevent Facebook from keeping track of future clicks, taps, and websites. That means Facebook won't use information it gathers to target ads to personal accounts on Facebook, Instagram, or Messenger. And Facebook won't use that information to show you posts it thinks you might like. You can choose to turn off the tracking, otherwise it will continue. It's rolling out first in South Korea, Ireland, and Spain. No word yet on when it will launch here in the U.S.